DreAllDay.com.
Everybody, Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This video, y'all know what it is. It's part 5 of 6, where we're going to go over Napoleon Hill's list, the 31 major causes of failure for people in life. Of course, it's derived from his book, Think and Grow Rich, one of the best self-help business books ever written. If you don't know about it or never read it or don't remember it, go get the book, read it. You can probably find a PDF for free, but invest in yourself, get the book. And anyway, we're now in numbers 21 through 25, and then there'll be one more video where I do the last 6 of these 31 major causes of failure. I'm gonna tell you off the top what these are, then we're gonna go through them. There is, first of all, inability to control your spending. Second is lack of enthusiasm. The third one will be intolerance. Fourth is intemperance. And the fifth is inability to cooperate with other people. So let's go right through it. First one is inability to control your spending. Spending indiscriminately is the verbiage that Napoleon Hill uses in here. And I'm surprised that he had this so low on the list. But maybe, I guess it makes sense because he wrote this during the height of the Great Depression. That's why he wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich, because so many people he saw had a need to really get their minds right and just their lives right and in order, because so many people's lives were in disarray because there was very little hope. There's a lot of despair at that time. That's why it was called the Great Depression. But spending indiscriminately means you're not keeping track of your finances, not keeping track of what you're doing with your money, where your money is going, maybe putting some money away so that you have something just in case something happens in the future, because things do happen, or for plans that you have in the future. Just spending money without thinking about it, not having any idea where it went. You had a certain amount of money, then you realize you don't have any money, and you can't even account for what happened to all that money. That's a problem. That leads to failure in life because you're not keeping track of your finances. I don't think I need to explain that any more deeply than I just did. And read Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill talks some good stuff about keeping track of your money and taking care of your money. And also a book that I'll recommend off the top of my head. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. I don't even remember who the author was, but it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. Look that up. Number 2, and we're going again through the 31 major causes of failure. The second one is a lack of enthusiasm, or as some people may call it these days, passion. A lack of passion. You're not enthusiastic or passionate or excited about anything. You're not on fire or electric, or what's the word I'm looking for? You just don't get fired up about anything in life. Now, I understand not getting fired up about certain things. You might not be excited about your job, or about the people that you got to work with, or about your boss, or about certain parts of your work that you have to do that you don't really feel like doing. Even if you run your own business, there are times you won't feel excited. Maybe you're tired one day, maybe you got injured, maybe you're having a bad day, maybe you had a string of things happening that you didn't want to happen, so you kind of pissed off in the moment, so you don't want to be excited. I get that happens. But is there nothing in life that you're excited about? Is there anything that just turns you on, gets you, jacked up, hyped up, whatever you want to call it? Is there anything that you're excited about? It has to be something. If you're not excited about anything, you don't have enthusiasm about anything, you're probably going to be a failure in life, because it's going to take some enthusiasm, some passion, some energy to become a success in anything that you choose in life. So if there's nothing, then you probably won't get to success. The reason why you need excitement, passion, enthusiasm to be a success in things is because nothing's going to come easy. We all know that it takes hard work. I'm on here all the time talking about work on your game. It takes hard work, it takes effort, it takes a time investment, and things are not always going to go your way, no matter how talented or how good or how resourceful you may be. Therefore, you need that passion, that enthusiasm, that excitement to push you through the rough times. If you don't have it, then you won't make it through the rough times. And also, on the other hand, you need that passion and excitement to sell other people on your goals, on your projects, on the things you're working on, to get other people on board. You want other people to pay attention to you. You got to show that you're enthusiastic about what you're doing, so that they say, okay, this person, at least they care about it. I don't know what they're talking about, but they seem excited. Let me at least listen to what they're talking about. Let me at least take a look at it. Maybe it has something in it for me. Enthusiasm is contagious. It gets other people to follow you and follow your lead. So that's why you need it. That's another reason why you need it. Third one, we're talking major one, the 31 major causes of failure in life. Third one is intolerance. Intolerance basically means a closed mind. And this is something I don't recommend any of you to read through the comments on YouTube videos, maybe on my videos, you don't get too much crazy people, but on just random videos that you watch, you hear a lot of intolerance in the comments. And the thing is, you're not quite sure people really mean it, because on the internet, people will say anything just because there's no accountability to leaving a comment. But you hear a lot of intolerance. And there's a lot of intolerance in the world these days. Intolerance when it comes to gender, when it comes to race, when it comes to politics. Those 3 things specifically, you'll hear a whole lot. Those 3 points alone. Religion is another one. Those 4 points alone: gender, race, politics, and religion, you'll hear a whole lot of intolerance. In other words, people who have decided on one way of thinking, and they do not want to hear anything that goes against that way of thinking. They don't want to hear anything that's on the side, anything that's opposing it, anything that's on the other side, anything that might just be a little bit different. And they damn sure don't want to hear anything from a person who happens to be what they consider to be the opposition or the other, or someone who's on the wrong side of the fence on a certain topic. That's called having a closed mind. If you have a closed mind, that means you have limited how far you can go in life. You can't go any further when your mind is closed, because you can't possibly learn anything new. You won't try anything new. You won't be open to new ideas. So therefore, whatever you've done to this point, you're pretty much stuck at that spot. And no matter how great you are, if the world is moving and you're staying still, even if you're the best in the world right now, you're at that point you're losing, because you're not growing, you're not getting better, you're not getting smarter, you're not progressing. Life is all about progress. It's not about where you start, it's about that you continue. And if you're not continuing because your mind is closed to opening up to anything new or anything other than what you already believe or what you think you already know, then that means you're going to start losing. That is intolerance, and it is a major cause of failure. Number 4 is intemperance. And temperance is basically moderation, what we call, a lot of people use that word, moderation. Basically controlling your desires, especially for things that maybe are good in certain dosages, but when you get too much of it, then it can start to control your life. For example, anybody here likes to drink or smoke? And it's cool to drink or smoke. I don't drink or smoke, but I don't judge people who do. Again, intolerance. I'm tolerant of people who drink or smoke, but you don't want to do it too much. You drink too much, then the drink starts controlling you instead of you controlling it. You smoke too much, it starts controlling you instead of you controlling it. And same thing, Napoleon Hill talks about sex. Whether that's sex with actual people or is pornography or whatever you into, too much of it, you start to get out of control. The food that you eat, that can get you out of control. Even work sometimes. If you will have enough temperance in your work. Some people work a whole lot more than others, but if you go overboard with it, then you might start to lose your family. You might start to lose your friends. You might start to lose your mind, because you're so focused on that work. You don't have anything to take your mind off it. You don't have anything else to keep your mind occupied or just give your brain a break sometimes. That could cause your failure in your business, even though that's all you do is work on your business. So intemperance is just not knowing when to moderate certain things in life. Now, I am a believer that there are certain areas of life where, you know what, like, fuck moderation. I'm going to just do this as far as I can possibly go. But there are other areas in life where you want to moderate things. Like, well, I like candy. I'll have a sip of some champagne at somebody's wedding or something like that. But I'm not going to go overboard with those things. Because if you do, then it could cause you some problems. And that can be a major cause of failure, not knowing when to moderate certain things. And the last one is the inability to cooperate with other people. So these are just the disagreeable people who are just negative, people who are just ignorant and rude, people who just always seem to be in conflict with people. Even when nobody's trying to have a conflict with them, they just seem to always be in conflict with other people just because, I don't know, they just seem to attract it. You ever known anyone like that? They just attract conflict, and they don't really attract it, they bring it. They're the magnet that's bringing the conflict, and they make other people, because of their energy, they cause other people to respond to them in a similar way. And there's a whole other conversation when it comes to that, but inability to cooperate, meaning it's hard for you to work in partnership with people. It's hard for you to be a part of a team. It's hard for you to get along with others, even in short periods of time, just because you just have this attitude that, for whatever reason, maybe not because you're trying to, but for whatever reason, you just always seem to end up in opposition with people. And that, over the long run, will be a cause of failure in life. Now, if you play a sport, for example, of course you're going to be in opposition because you want to compete to win. If you run a business, you're competing against other businesses who are trying to take your market share or your customers or your clientele. But just in life in general, you should be able to still shake somebody's hand after the game and say, yo, good game. You won or I won, but good game. Or a business person across the street. Or you doing business, I'm doing business, we're competing, but I can still respect you as a man or as a woman or as a business person, even though we're in competition with each other. The same thing if you get in an argument with somebody over a political candidate or a religion, or who's a better rapper than who's the better basketball player. You can still shake that person's hand and have respect for them, even though you disagree with them on a certain topic. So your inability to cooperate with other people will cause you failure in life, simply because you're going to make so many enemies and you won't have any allies. And no matter how talented and tough and disciplined and confident you are, or how good you are in life, if you're trying to go at it everything by yourself, there's a limit to how far you can go, because you can only be in one place at one time. And even the most talented person in the world only has but so much talent before they're going to run into some people who have teamed up and are cooperating. And one person can't beat 10 people, in too many different places. As they say in basketball, one person is not going to win a championship. For example, you've seen a guy like LeBron James, great player, took a team that may not have been that great. He couldn't beat a team like the Golden State Warriors. You just had better players, first of all. They had better players, and those better players cooperating were better than LeBron's players cooperating. And that's not a direct example analogy that I'm giving you here, because it's not like LeBron was a bad cooperator with his teammates. I think he was pretty damn good at it to make it all the way to the championship round so many times and win it a couple times. But what I'm saying is, if it's just you going against the people who are cooperating, usually you're going to end up losing in the long run because of your inability to mesh your abilities with other people's abilities. And that synergy is where you get 1 + 1 = 3, that point that people have made. You can go Google that and read about it. So anyway, let's recap these 5 that I'm doing in this video. Major causes of failure in life. Number 1, inability to control your spending. Knowing where your money is and where it's going, even if you ain't got that much money, keeping track of where your money's at and where it's going. Number 2, if I can remember this, lack of enthusiasm, lack of passion, lack of excitement about anything in life. Number 3, intolerance, having a closed mind about subjects because you have just decided you know all there is to know and you don't want to hear anything else. Closed-mindedness. Number 4, intemperance, not being able to control and moderate your energies and your abilities and your thoughts and your actions on certain areas of life. Know when you need to moderate things. That's self-control or self-discipline. And number 5, inability to cooperate with other people, or unwillingness to cooperate with other people. Just being a disagreeable, rude, ignorant, asshole type of person. That'll cause you failure in life. So the next video will be the last in this series, where I'll go over the last 6 of the 31 major causes of failure. Make sure you are checking yourself for everyone that I pointed out here, and checking the people around you, because if they have these causes, they're going to bring you down with them. So you got to make sure you're checking them, either help them work on their games or get away from them. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. My book, Work on Your Game, Using the Pro Athlete Mindset to Dominate in Business, Sports, and Life, is available now where all books are sold, physical, digital, and of course the audiobook, 100% done by me. You have learned from these philosophies, the mental game, business, sports, life, anything you do, this is the book for you. Go get it now and work on your game. Dre all day.